So we're back. Our MLB The Show 17 live stream breakdown for the little things. Settle in, because we have got a lot to talk about, guys. First, behind me, you see Ramon Russell, Stephen Haas, who is Tips, and then Matt Schaefer, who is, as you can see, designer or whatever. Kind of funny, but, you know, they all have a sense of humor. It was good to see Ramon back on the stream. I think Ramon and Tips do a really great job of keeping the stream going while bringing in the other designers to talk about everything. But let's get right into what we heard about on this stream. A lot of good. There are some questionable decisions that we found out about today, so keep tuned. Let's continue with this. The first thing we find out about is, let's get into this. So in this stream, we're going to find out about sounds of the show, how it is expanded from 512 total sounds to 1,024. They've doubled the amount of sounds you can have in there. We're also going to see all of the uniforms, although we're going to skip through them. I will put the archive in the description below of all of the uniforms so you can go see them yourself. We're going to talk about Universal Profile 2.0. There were 4 new Jumbotrons completely updated this year. 3D audio, which is new for headset users. There are new brands towards the end. Some Diamond Dynasty stuff, 2 new legends, and a lot of gameplay this stream. One of the things we really loved is there was a ton of gameplay done this stream, including bunting and how they are going to combat bunt cheesers. So very cool. We're going to go through everything as we go here, guys. So let's go right into first. The new Universal Profile. As you see here on the top left, the most played modes no longer shows total XP you've gone. It shows how much total time you've played. At the very top, you see your new Universal Profile badge. Keep an eye on that because you will be seeing that multiple times in this video in different places that we didn't expect it before. Obviously, right behind me, you see the new tendencies. One thing we learned about tendencies, which was really awesome, tendencies will affect your extra inning team. So if somebody picks your team in extra innings to play, your tendencies control how that team is controlled. I don't know if that's new this year or not, but very cool to see you get a little bit of your personal play style with your team in extra innings. We're going to keep moving on here. Universal Profile. I do have their volume turned down. I will turn it up once in a while when they say something that is very pertinent. Again, you will hear that because I put very specific things out there. So you're going to see minutes played, tendencies affect extra innings. Let's keep moving along here. Again, we're going to pause it right here. Right above me, you see legends names. All of these legends, they were told very specifically in the stream, they are not in the game. None of them are confirmed. They are for records keeping purposes only. I've actually found out in the last 24 hours, they don't even need a license to use a name. All they need is for the guy to have been in Major League Baseball. After that, if you need a full player's likeness, that's when the license comes into play. So all of these guys you're going to see scrolling around up in here, not confirmed for Diamond Dynasty guys. Don't worry about that. So, I think I skipped over the stat keeping here real quick. I want to make sure we get that. So, yes, you see extended stat keeping for your guy. You see offensive and defensive stats. The question was, is this going to affect your online stat keeping or just your offline? I wonder how that's mixed in this year. But it does break it down between, you'll see achievements up here in a second. They do go over achievements not only for career, as you can see right here, this is your entire career. They actually started off going with, let's see if we can get this moved over here. Yeah, so these are level based, and then you go right into it and they change over to game achievements, as you can see here, specific game achievements that give you rewards for that. Very cool. I think that's awesome. Again, one of those things with Diamond Dynasty, or just the game in whole, give me something to do. I love playing franchise mode, but as we go, give me consistent things that I want to work on. And you're going to see that with missions too. They showed us all the missions tabs to keep us continuously working as we go. Next up, you are going to see back to this screen, back to the initial screen. You're going to see your online totals. I think they said for up to the last 5 years. So if you've played online in MLB The Show for the past 5 years, you will see your complete stats here. Again, very cool to have that kind of stuff sitting there. Your overall ratings for your team as well. We're going to go into customizing the universal profile. We saw some of this in the GameStop Little Things video. You have all of these backgrounds that are going to be on your badge. We thought it would just be something that we could see, but you're going to see here in a couple minutes that it's going to be something that everybody sees, which I think is very cool. This is your friends list. So your universal profile, your badges are going to show up in the friends list. And just so we have very specifically here, you see gold gloves up there on the top and on the one for Lance right here. You see different teams, different levels, and also very cool, the second one from the top, Ken Griffey Jr. in an 8-bit background. So looks like retro mode is going to be doing some of those as well. I think that, again, pretty awesome customization. It's not hurting anybody, so very cool. Make sure we're not missing anything here. So yeah, the friends list, we saw that. But now look, you see them pointing behind me. I'm going to point too. Look above me. So they're playing somebody else in a screenshot here. You see that is one of the developers. The developer's the player's actual entire badge shows up in the game. Again, it's the little thing stream, and this is a little thing that really adds on. It makes me want to, maybe throw an Orioles badge in there for me, or if you guys are a fan of the team, a fan of a specific badge. Let's say I think I saw one of them was like 8 steals in a game, or a certain number of steals. If you do something out of the ordinary and you get an icon for it, you want to show that off. If you're in World Series, the only way people knew you were in World Series before is if they were playing you and looked you up on Show Nation. Now that you can actually show off, hey, I made it to World Series. Get ready. I think, again, very cool stuff going on in the show. Let's keep moving on. Friends list in-game. I think we're about to see our first new legend announced this week. So you see we get Matt Schaefer moving for Lance coming in. You see they're getting the lights out, which means Luis Aparicio of the White Sox shortstop. So we get an awesome new legend that we saw in one of the previous videos, but now we're going to get a chance to see Luis Aparicio's ratings. I'm in love. I'm in love with this card. This is essentially, and they talked about it on stream, Ozzie Smith from last year. 99 vision, 5372 contact, and you see just stealing and fielding out of their mind. I cannot wait to, at the very least, try this card. And 1959 was actually Aparicio's breakout year. Some remember Aparicio with different teams, but his White Sox card, very cool. Let's keep moving here. After that, they went into the new challenge of the week. They didn't get a chance to show anything on it, but what they did say about the challenge of the week is scoring is changing and momentum is changing. Last year, if you went in the challenge of the week, you had the same people on the leaderboards week after week after week. I did hear Ramon mention this. You also see behind me, he's showing off a Noah Syndergaard jersey. He showed a Ken Griffey Jr. autographed bat as one of the rewards. But like guys like Cardinal Bird 5, who were amazing at this game, and I shout out to him because he gives great tips, they would win a lot last year. I heard Ramon say that they're only going to be able to win grand prizes once a year. So that opens up chances for everybody to get into those. Yeah, you might still get all the packs and stuff, but it's nice to have that once a year win. It showed that Challenge of the Week obviously changes every week. Challenge of the Week also a phenomenal way to get warmed up for games. If you have issues hitting or pitching when you first start up the game, go on a Challenge of the Week, play a little bit. You might even win something. So definitely want to keep going with that. Challenge of the Week. Next up, I want to see if I can get him to actually talk about this.
You have the official rules there as well. So not only can you play and see how good you are with the sticks in your hand, you can win some really, really, really cool prizes. And that's how Challenge of the Week is changing. Challenge of the Week revamped. So the next thing we're going to do,
let me see if I actually want to hear him say this.
If you win a grand prize, you can't win anymore. So you don't have to worry about the same person winning every single time. We have changed the scoring system to get more winners, to get some more granularity. We have also changed the momentum boost. Momentum boost now only resets after each out instead of each strike. And we have way more prizes. If you want to know more about the prizes and the official rules, go to theshownation.com and you will find them. Also, when you log in to Challenge of the Week, you have the official rules there as well. So not only can you play and see how good you are with the sticks in your hand, you can win some really, really, really cool prizes. And that's how Challenge of the Week is changing. Challenge of the Week revamped. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to need 2 controllers for this.
Okay, so yeah, very cool to hear them talk about it. The differences and all the changes. I think that's really awesome to see that what they're doing with Challenge of the Week and that they're not just letting that go by the wayside. It, again, had some real issues last time too. So moving on, I think the next thing they showed were, and we're not going to get into this completely because I'm going to direct you to the archives for this. Again, in the description below. They showed every uniform in the game for every team. Again, when it was announced, 11 different teams will have 11 different uniforms. But the big announcement for uniforms was that you are going to have every uniform that is in the MLB style guide is going to be in the game. Now, the style guide, obviously, locked away from us. It's not only something MLB business partners get a hold of, so we don't know what's in there. But they showed every one of these, and I think you're going to see one of the really cool ones right over here, right now. You're going to see the Toronto Red jerseys in the game. Very cool. I know I keep saying very cool, but that's what this little things is just these little cool things that make the game so much better. So we're going to skip past the uniforms, except that beautiful black uniform for the Orioles. And you see the Padre camos obviously there, so skip on past that stuff. Keep on moving, little things. So once we get past the uniforms, you are going to see here that they also show that SunTrust Stadium, they didn't show it, but SunTrust Stadium was confirmed to be in the game. They just finished it yesterday. The stream went on February 23rd. They confirmed they did finish SunTrust Stadium. This is save slots. Not many people, again, you Diamond Dynasty guys may not worry about this, but for those of us that do rosters, that do sliders, that do created players, so you see the upgrades over there from 5 created players to 50, from 5 logos to 50 if you really want to hold on to stuff for Diamond Dynasty. Rosters, you can now save up to 50 rosters on your file. I guarantee that part of that is because they're not making it on PS3 anymore. They're making it on PS4. So very cool. You get more slots for franchise, more slots for season, more slots for Road to the Show. But I think the big jumps here are the creative players and the logos and the rosters. So keep moving on from that. Yeah, logo slots. I got Chase G, shout out to him, one of the better players in Diamond Dynasty, saying logos is big for Diamond Dynasty. For those of us that like to mix up once in a while. I mean, I don't mix up my jerseys, but there are guys that want to do like World Baseball Classic jerseys. So to do that, you know, you have to be able to save them. Al, you see, these are the 4 Jumbotrons they talked about. You see you see St. Louis. You see this one, the other one right here, which I believe is also St. Louis. Is this the other side of the St. Louis jersey of the St. Louis stadium? Yeah, you see the updates to these. So these are completely new on this side, as opposed to the old ones over here. Or no, these are the new ones. I apologize. New ones on the right, old ones on the left. So you see the old digital LED boards with the individual lights to the brand new jumbo LED boards. Very cool. So yes, definitely want to props to them. There were threads on a couple different sites, OS included, for this, because they mentioned their stadium guys, they don't have a lot of people in their stadium crew. So they relied on a lot of individual gamers to send in pictures of these stadiums. So props out to you guys that showed a lot of work for that for them. These updated boards are specifically for you. Sounds of the show. There is one major piece of Sounds of the Show that I'm very happy for, and that's specifically for streamers that want to be able to use this. But let's go into all of them. You double the user music slots. We talked about that. Went from 512 to 1,024 slots. Starting picture music, you now get that. You now get closer music. It's not listed on here, but you will be able to get that. They talked about the 3D audio compatible if you have the Platinum PlayStation 4 headset. They have a very specific MLB The Show 17 profile just for you. You get new mix presets for headphones. 20% louder for all the sounds. A lot of people last year knew that the sounds for Batter Walk Up, you couldn't really hear them that much. This year you can. The other thing they announced, though, is that you will be able to hear your Sounds of the Show in Diamond Dynasty. Your opponent cannot for licensing, but if you put in Diamond Dynasty sounds for specific stadiums or for your players, they will play. What's cool for this is Diamond Dynasty is one of the top streamed modes on Twitch and YouTube. If you can put your own custom licensed music, maybe not so much for YouTube due to licensing issues, but you can have custom Batter Walk-Up music and have that play for you while you're playing other players. Pretty cool. I think that's very cool for streaming. So let's keep moving on here. So that Sounds the Show.
So what is
Loyalty rewards. For any of you that have played MLB 16, if you have connected to the servers only one time you get a loyalty reward, which consists of one gold player. They said you cannot get above a gold player. You have to, it is gold or less. Oh no, it's going to be gold, not less. It's going to be a gold player, so someone between 85 and 89 with the new overalls we talked about last time. Plus you get 3 pieces of gold equipment and you get a gold sponsorship, which is right here. So that is, I mean, they're always looking out for people that have played before. That's a good starting point for you Diamond Dynasty or you franchise guys that start the game and have played from last year. But again, remember, you have to have clicked into online servers for MLB The Show 16 at least once.
If you've played MLB The Show 16,
as he just said there. So, okay, next was the loyalty reward. We move it down into... Oh, wait. I know what I wanted to show you guys. We're going to go back to the uniforms for one quick second. Because as they go through here... Oh! You just hear Ramon say it is a late change. Remember when we saw the Felix Hernandez face scan, and then he came out like a day later and had no goatee? Felix Hernandez, no goatee. They have updated it. He is completely updated in the game. So, you Mariners fans, rejoice. You're getting yourself a completely shorn Felix Hernandez. But let's get back here. So we're moving back into past the Jumbotrons. We already did that one. Sounds of the Show, loyalty rewards. We are going to keep moving on.
Yeah, we'll load in here.
Now, this...
We're going to give 20 seconds to the chat, maybe 30 seconds.
I want to stay positive as I possibly can. This is a big change for Diamond Dynasty.
It's going to be cool.
And I know where they're going with it. I'm going to let them load into this game, and we're going to pause it on the screen.
Normal game flow.
They're making an attempt to stop people from backing out at the lineup screen. Last year, if you had a if you were facing a left-handed pitcher, there was a chance you were going to back out of the game. People didn't like to face lefties. So here it is. If you'll notice right up here, above where the overalls are, you can no longer see whether you have a right-handed or left-handed pitcher against you. They could not put multiple lineups in the game for this, because to be quite honest, so if you put multiple lineups in, it changes your 25-man, like what your locked-in 25-man is. So I don't think that's the way to fix it either, because people could do multiple bullpens as well. I don't know about this, and for one very big reason, is last year one of the most fun parts about doing early lineups was platoon players. You've heard my co-host on Bullpen Banter, That Sports Gamer, talk about his love for the 84 overall flashback Jared Saltalamacchia. He mashed righties, but he couldn't hit against lefties. So the chances are, even if you have platoon players in your lineup, you cannot put them into your starting lineup. You would have to actually sub them in game, thus destroying your bench. I don't know, guys. I'm not a fan of that for Diamond Dynasty. I think that takes out a lot of the initial strategy for your starting lineup. I know what they're attempting to do. I know that they're attempting to make this screen not a spot of wanting to back out due to the pitcher. But baseball lineups are superbly about strategy. And taking that handedness out of the choices for the starting lineup may be a miss. That might be something that can change. I don't know. But again, for me, not something I'm very happy with in terms of lineup setting. So let's keep moving on. We all know that's not very... No, not out of this lineup screen, Aqua. So Aqua X101, one of the best mods over on the show Reddit, in the chat says, they said if you back out, they lose points. Why attack the handedness? It's not if you back out of this screen. It's if you back out of the matchup loading screen, which we'll show you here in a minute. If you get to the matchup screen, if you back out, that's when you have the problem. So keep moving here. So the new diamond art, you see that right up there. I'm going to let it glow because it does have some moving to it. You see the Andrew Miller card, the player's glowing. You got a much cleaner look to it, a much more of a pop to it. So those are new art for the diamond cards. You can see these guys love it too. I mean, the best thing about these devs, they seem to be just as much a fan of the game as they are making it. So yeah, I love the diamond art on the game. You see the flashbacks. We already knew about these flashbacks, the Kimbrel, the Stanton, the Ramirez. So there's nothing to look at over here. But yeah, that card art is clean. So here is another big change this year. Last year, it did not take your team overall into account when matching up. I know a lot of people, myself included, because I got into the head-to-head game late last year for Diamond Dynasty, I would have a stacked team, but be around the 1600 rating. And I would face some really low overall rated teams. This year, your new rating is your team overall plus your current rating plus a modifier based on your skill. Again, that should help mashups where you were facing off on high-level teams that didn't play that often. So again, big change to Diamond Dynasty head-to-head matchups. Welcome change to Diamond Dynasty head-to-head matchups. So that's with the overall inside of there. The Battle Royale monthly rewards, they did talk about them. They will be refreshing monthly. That's what it said. So the April rewards, you'll have a very distinctive set of cards for April rewards. They will refresh in May, June. Now they may change the time on when they can refresh, but as of right now, they're set to be monthly reward changes, monthly refreshes. And they did say again there would be Battle Royale specific cards. I know that's a sore spot for some of you that thought like the Carlos Beltran last year was going to be Battle Royale specific. They did say there would be some cards that were specific to Battle Royale to win. They also said there would be cards for events and missions that were specific as well. So depending what mode you play, perhaps you can get a card that you have been waiting for. The next screen after Battle Royale was they talked again about the standings. The new standing screen. Again, just a different menu. The nice thing about this is you don't have to go into the standing screen for extra innings games anymore. I think that was one of the bigger issues last year, was trying to find the team you wanted to find. Looks like it might be a little easier to go about that this year. They also talked about, let's get back in that 1 second before we jump onto there. They also talked about that on the leaderboard screens, season leaders again and lifetime leaders. So when you go into the leaderboards now, you see right there, current season is whatever the current ranked season you're on. Lifetime is your entire career in the show 17. Again, it's good to separate those leaderboards so people don't rest on their laurels after getting to a certain level in current season. All right, back to the post-game wrap-up screen. So in the top left, you will see a head-to-head game where it shows everything you've gotten, a ratings increase, it shows the score, the whole post-game summary. Right above me, a conquest end-of-game screen where you see the attacking, the defending, and what fans you got. Over that away, you will see, I believe that is a Battle Royale post-game. You see how many losses you're in, what rank you are in Battle Royale, and what wins and rewards you've already collected. And right behind me, you will see the new events post-game scene. Again, three wins, 6 wins, 9 wins, 12 wins, plus over here, your cumulative wins for the entire event. New screens, new post-game screens. One of the things they're really working on this year is getting as much information as possible into one screen. So the post-games, another welcome change. So here again, we're going to see the matchup screen. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is the screen that if you back out of the screen. So the question I had, and many others had, like, all right, I can see all of their cards. If I go up against a stacked lineup, what's to stop me from backing out here? Well, Lance, who is right there, one of the live content producers, said if you back out of this spot, you are going to get a loss. You are going to get a ratings deficit, so you will lose rating points anyway. Plus, you will not get any bonus after the game, so it will not count to your post-game rewards. So at that point, why would you quit? Unless you just don't want to play, but you're going to hurt yourself even more. At least if you took a loss like a man or like a woman, if you step up and take your loss, you have a chance of a really good post-game reward. So, guys, don't quit. Play your games. So let's keep moving on after that. They are talking about different fonts. There are 5 new fonts in Diamond Dynasty. I'm going to let them flip behind them right here. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to let them flip just so that you can see them. Ooh. I'll just lose it.
We have more comparison shots of the Jumbotrons on theshownation.com.
Oh, I just lost it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Back to where we were. We're going to get back to mission categories, which are after the fonts here at the 37-minute mark. All right, so what we see here is ranked seasons rewards. Back this up just a second. So we saw the Battle Royale, the versus CPU, the friendlies. I want to go after this for 1 second because I want to go ahead and completely just enjoy this moment. Right above me, friendlies. There are missions specific to friendlies. Last year, one of the biggest problems in Diamond Dynasty were people that quote-unquote went AFK. They left their controller down overnight with another player. They got a bunch of XP because of it. Now, you can do that, but you've got specific missions to do it in. And I'm going to guess a lot of them are not play 9 innings. They said on this stream that none of these missions, the collection missions, anything like that, that friendlies would not be a part of that. You have to play ranked games. You have to play other modes. So no more friendlies missions except for this tab. All the grinding stats missions, none of them apply to friendlies anymore. That is a welcome change to make people actually play the game, and another step to taking the online element that would try to take the shortcut to win. So, let's see here. Have they explained the intro screen so guys will be... Yes, Jay Bizzle, I just talked about that. The intro lineup screen, if you quit out of that, it will be like quitting out of an actual game, except you will not get a reward for it. So again, I think there was... Let's see here. The Diamond program, the daily program, My Career, which is entire career, not your actual Road to the Show guy, but entire career over online. And epics, which they said, so last year, let's say Joe Mauer, the flashback catcher, was the epic. They're saying this year that you were going to have to find the unlocks for these epic rewards. They will not just be, hey, rookie to prime or rookie to prime flashback. There are going to be certain specific things you have to do to figure out how to unlock these epic rewards. If you're like me, you saw this purple color and you went, wow, I need me some epic rewards. So yeah, that's what you're seeing with all of these new missions categories. And again, it was something they said flat out. They want to be able to keep content moving. As evidence is right above me. Daily missions. There will be missions every day for you to complete. They're going, and you'll hear Ramon Russell talk about this a lot, they're going for the Destiny model. They want you to log in. You've seen it in For Honor recently, a game that I play a lot. You have daily missions you can do every day to get either some stubs, some tickets, some coins, maybe a card. They're forcing you to turn it on every day and play. Which again, I think is a good thing, because you don't have to do it, but it rewards you for playing more. All right, what was next after that? Mission categories, daily versus CPU. They did show...
Until the game launches, because they won't work, because the game's not out yet. So
they're talking about the codes, yeah. For pre-ordering the version, by the way, for GameStop, not only do you get the Griffey hat physically, you get the digital version for your Diamond Dynasty team. You wear that there, so... That's what this guy is. Here is the next legend. Jason Giambi. You see, this is the 03 Jason Giambi from the Yankees. Let's get into his ratings real quick. So you see, this is an all-star card. You see the 75-99 against righties, 99 discipline for check swings. Doesn't really affect Diamond Dynasty as much. 64 vision, very... you can manage with that. You can manage with that in Diamond Dynasty. Not great fielding. They did, and they will show off later when we go over double plays, which they showed in this game or in this stream. Fielding is going to matter for first baseman, guys. You're not going to be able to hide these guys anymore. So kind of cool. Let's keep going here, boys. That's the Giambi release.
I played with him a little last night, and Giambi will hit the wall with some.
And what else did they talk about? Oh, yes. Here, listen to this.
We're going to go into some gameplay, talk about some stuff.
Okay.
You know, we're always trying to make the game better every single year.
I want you to hear this
Online
about
is
pitching
its own
online
entity.
specifically.
There are a few things that we have done to try to balance online. Pitcher energy has been a thorn in our side for a while.
Yep.
So here's how pitcher energy is changing for online. It's been nerfed, completely nerfed. If you run out of energy, here's what's going to happen. You're either going to...
Are you running out of energy?
You're either going to walk the guy, you're going to hit him, or you're going to throw a meatball. Those are the three things that's going to happen. So
okay, so one of the problems with last year was people would pitch their bullpens and then just bring them into the third inning, and then because they had talent on the analog pitching or talent on the meter pitching, they would just go ahead and like throw Aroldis Chapman in the third inning. Matter of fact, I read that very specific one in the chat. Shout out to Pitching Rebel, the #1 show player in the world on the leaderboards said that very specifically, that no more Chapman in the 3rd inning. People would throw Aroldis Chapman and still be able to throw 98 miles an hour at 0 energy. This year, if your pitcher gets to 0 energy, you will throw a ball, you will throw a beanball, or you will throw a meatball. There are no other options. This is online only. Offline, they did not touch it. They let, because offline's your own game. So that is very, very cool. Again, they are targeting online cheating. They're targeting online griefing. That's what their target was this year for Diamond Dynasty. This is very obviously Diamond Dynasty's 3rd full year, and they are rounding out what is going on in that mode. They want people to understand this is Diamond Dynasty's year to flourish. And they're, like I said, they're targeting gameplay issues. So let's see. They did talk about online bunting. That is on the very end. We will see that in the very end.
For substitutions. So what we've done, and this is an offline thing.
Again, this is
the computer now looks at the batters that are coming up. What we used to do was the computer would always just put in the best pitcher. Now the computer looks at the next few batters and they'll make a decision based on the handedness and who's coming up to bat. So it's righty, lefty, righty, righty. You're going to see the computer AI make decisions and pull in substitution pitchers based on the matchups because they're looking down the line.
All right, so Franchise Nation, that's what we wanted to hear. Last year, he admitted that the CPU brought in a bullpen pitcher based specifically on who was the best pitcher available. Did not matter about handedness. This year, they're looking at matchups. So we're going to see more lefty on lefty. We're going to see more righty on righty. And the rating will come into that afterwards as well. So this is some gameplay. We're going to let this kind of play behind us as we go. Jared Weaver in his new San Diego Padres gear already.
You're going to show some
We are going to show something else. After about maybe the 4th or the 5th inning.
Let's see if I can get them to hear this.
Let's go.
Did you just put in cheat codes?
So I'm not going to be able to get them to get to hear this, but they did say that feeding cards this year would be easier because the missions are different. They didn't say anything about specifics, but yeah, feeding cards in Diamond Dynasty to your created player or for exchanges. We saw the filters. They said, you know, the filters will be there this year for feeding. Yes, the MLB Network theme is not in this one. This is just the regular show theme, but you do notice that up in this top left scorebar,
So remember last year, there were some missions that asked you to take some of the cards in your inventory and feed them to your created player in Diamond Dynasty. The answer is yes. We have done some work there. But remember, we also have the exchange mission this year, which...
So yeah, so they've done some work on the filters there. This is not the MLB Network package. You can select your package this year. You can select your broadcast package. I think that's very awesome as well. So let's keep moving here.
Your eyes open. People are asking, why can't you hear the announcers? Because we have 2 new announcers and we don't want to spoil those guys.
Oh, also, something they announced right around here. I'm not gonna go through too much of the gameplay. They didn't show too much. They did show, again, new ball physics as it curves into the outfield. The gameplay I want to show was very specific later.
The Diamond Dynasty stream last week, we've all put kind of cut down versions of
This, by the way, this camera, if you guys have noticed the new fielding camera, this is the new retro camera they're playing on. You can use the retro mode camera for fielding in regular gameplay.
Well done, well done. Shorter versions, you can search them easier.
So keep moving on here.
Feedback, which I love. That's one.
I believe that's a new stance, by the way.
Can you tilt the TV like just touch
They did mention that online, the presentation for online now has gone from fast play to hybrid. And if you make a custom challenge for your player, for another player, if you want to play another friend or whatever, you can change your custom, you can change your presentation style to anything you want. So if you want to do broadcast, you can do broadcast against a friend. I think, again, that's good for online leagues. If you play that, maybe online franchise, if you guys play that and want to stream those games, makes it, again, much better for just overall being able to show presentation in the game, especially online. You guys are seeing on this pitching meter, by the way, keep an eye on it. You see the new feedback icon for feedback timing. Again, let that show real quick. So meter,
Body scaling.
depending on what your timing is.
I think Sano has that husky
See the
body.
early?
Guy's not fat.
They're talking about body scaling with Snow right now.
Husky body type. So
Also, look at the lighting. One of the things that I noticed on this stream was the lighting is phenomenal in the shade. So, you see these white pants? When he hits the ball, you see him start running. So, everybody just like pops on the field a little bit more now. And they said they changed the grass color in all 30 stadiums. This is them getting ready for a giveaway where the chat gets completely destroyed by the giveaway keyword up top. The giveaway is over. Please do not put up to in the comments of this video. It will not do anything.
nice pitch, Lance.
So again, we are skipping through the entire archive. If you want to see this uncut, the description will be in, or the links will be in the description. I urge you to watch the official Sony archives. They put them up without ads, and they are proprietary now. So continue that. Let's keep going with
UP2.
105. Let's see here. New catch meter at 59.30.
Rating.
What?
Again, this is a lot of gameplay that you guys can see. There was nothing revolutionary coming from any of this. We did see the catch meter, which I'm going to try to show off here in a second. Let's see right here.
Every stream?
But if you paid attention, we actually revealed 3 extra today.
Yeah, we threw in some extra cards today.
Right.
One of them was in last year's. Both
So let's see if we get. I think Byron Buxton actually tries to go for it here. I want to talk about 2 things on the. Okay, so first, catching meter. Catching meter is online if you use button accuracy. The catching meter is tied to button accuracy. So let us get into that first.
different versions of those cards.
All right.
Yeah, next week is the commentary stream, you said?
So you see this? This is the new catching meter. Again, it has been said that people that are colorblind cannot see that green in that catching meter. That feedback has been given. I've been told they're working on it. They do not know what they're going to be able to do with it yet. So again, the catching meter tied to button accuracy. So if you use button accuracy in the field, you'll have the catching meter. And they're working on the fact that colorblind people cannot see the difference between that green and that yellow. The other thing I want to show you about this, though, is a question people had. The slow-mo. Notice it's not there. It was there in other steals in this stream. It looks like the slow-mo is when you have a chance at a play, it's going to slow down so you get a better look at it. Speaking of better looks, there are no challenges in the game besides the first base challenge. Ramon addressed that later in the stream. He said we had a choice. We could put challenges in for all the bases, or we could do all this other really cool stuff like 1,058 new animations. He listed a bunch of stuff they could do because of not doing the new challenges. So, yes, errors can still happen on perfect throws. They said that very, very clearly. There's always a chance for an error. It's higher in the rain. You can have errors on regular plays. That happens in baseball.
For the sweepstakes, the keyword is
And then he went ahead and stole my feather the stick rule, feather the stick line. So let's keep moving. 105. I think there's a really cool ball physics moment here.
boards are going out, so
See if we can get to it real quick. We are recording this live, guys, just in case you didn't know. We are live on the Operation Sports Twitch, trying to give some live feedback.
All of our
All right, 105. Let's see if we get this Texas leaguer down the right field line.
the geometry is different. They all have their own.
Yes, you cannot have throw errors, Sean, but you do have a chance of having a player drop a ball.
Day, and we have a full night cycle.
So perfect. That is really awesome. That Texas leaguer does not happen this year.
Love you.
hit types.
Texas leaguer to right field. You saw the curve of the ball. You saw a nice light hit. You see the feedback down there. You see the feedback is late, so that ball went to right field. He is under it, so he gets that backspin on the ball that spins it out to right field. And you see the tail on it. So again, cool that we're talking about ball physics and they got a Texas leaguer. Now, here comes the real This is where you online Diamond Dynasty players said, you know what, Ramon, talk to us about bunting, right?
And offline.
Humanity AI, 1,000.
Talk to us. Oh, here it is.
The new catch and throw engine. All those things we were able to do because we did not implement more of the challenge system. So
Perfect.
We made the right decision. So we're going to talk about it.
Now, we're going to let them talk
Still
for
work in
just a minute.
progress.
It is time.
This is where they go into the widgets. They're going into the widgets right now and setting up for bunting. Now,
Yeah, go ahead.
What do we see here?
you're going to be very, very interested in what happens when you try to bunt
Like you
cheese.
said, we have different stuff for online and offline.
I'm going to skip just a second here. There we go.
If you bunt with somebody who's not supposed to be bunting,
Wait a second. I want to show that. I want to show that very specific widget because, okay, so look at that. I want you to read that widget if you can see it. It says online drag push bunt rules. Failure for ability under 50. 50 to 62 is borderline. So your drag bunt rating. If you do a drag bunt and your ability is under 50, what they said will happen is you will bunt it directly at a fielder. Even if they are in a complete shift, you will still be forced to bunt the ball directly at a fielder if your drag bunt rating is below 50. If you're 50 to 62, you will have a great chance of bunting at a fielder. Lastly, if you continue to bunt, to try to drag bunt, every time you do it, it increases the penalty. So even if you have like 70 rated drag bunters, if you do it every time, you're going to eventually get a penalty. Bunt cheesers, now in the stream, to be fair, when they tried this,
like we said, we have different stuff for online.
it did crash. But I want to show you what happened after it crashed, because they showed exactly what that drag bunt will do.
If you bunt with somebody who's not supposed to be bunting, you're going to hit it directly at somebody every single time, unless, of course, you miss the ball, pop it up. That's what's going to happen 100% of the time. You're up there with Miguel Cabrera or Ken Griffey Jr., who's not going to bunt. A real-life manager would never have them bunt. They're going to hit it directly at somebody. So it's completely nerfed. Now, let's say you still want to do that anyway. If you continue to try to bunt with people who you're not supposed to be bunting with, we increase the penalties per consecutive bunt. So we're looking at if you keep on bunting, and we make it harder and harder and harder, and you keep going down that hole. So you're going to have
So again, the penalty goes up for every time you do it. Let me show it in action here. Again, like I said, it does freeze the game, and they did mention it is work in progress. They're not 100%. This is not 100% yet. They're still working on this. And you see it freezes the game. So that's what happens. It breaks the game.
And that's
No, but in all seriousness, when this comes back, I want you to see where this ball ends up.
I'm going to put meter back.
I want to see if we can get where that bunt goes. I mean, it locks up again on them.
Yeah, here. Ramon should be.
First of all, you see, he's trying and still can't get the bunt down.
Part of the change, though.
All right, he gets this. We're going to let this go because they eventually get through this screen. Watch where this bunt goes and with the speed at which it goes. Kenny Vargas, not a bunter, power hitter, big-time contact hitter. Watch where this goes.
About bunting against the shift. Well, here's what's going to happen.
seeing
If
it
you bunt with Miguel Sano, who has a shift, we're going to make sure you hit it directly at somebody playing first base, or if it's shifted the other way. He's going to hit it directly at the person, so you will not hit it towards the gap.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Complete nerf.
Yep. So they said flat out, it is a complete nerf for bunters that do not have the ability to do it. Offline, bunting is not changed. If you're offline and you want to bunt the game, you want to bunt cheese the entire game, go for it. It's your game. Online, bunting is completely nerfed. If you have under 50 ability, and those numbers could change, if you have an under 50 drag bunt or you have a 50 to 62, you will have a better chance of. Now I see Buxton here. Then again, they end up freezing the game up. But that is new, welcome news. I would have been more upset if we hadn't seen those numbers. Those numbers were the key because it crashed the game a couple times. But seeing those numbers in the game and seeing that one bunt go to first base, again, very happy with that.
Still a work in
So bunting, we did get a chance to see as they went into, you see the developer's schedule. Next Thursday will be the presentation and commentary. Monday's GameStop MLB Monday video will be on commentary, so we're probably going to find out who the 2 new commentators are in that video. Who knows? Maybe. So you will see here, they're playing a game in Shea with Chris Sale of the Red Sox versus John Gray of the Rockies. Again, cool here is that you get to see Chris Sale in his new body type.
Second to drop. That's dropping.
Ball physics.
And we're going 2.
Now, you'll notice here, one thing Ramon does here. Props. Watch the outfielder route. He didn't think he could get to it, so what he did was round the ball and watch how strong this throw comes out.
That's dropping.
Ball physics.
And we're going 2.
That is new this year. That is you could round the ball last year, but this year will have a greater effect. You will see that again shortly.
Sorry. Close.
Feathers and stick.
Close.
But
Hear that?
I'd like to see someone hit a home run, please.
Feathers
Sorry.
and stick.
Close.
Feathers and
Close.
stick.
Close.
Feather and stick.
Feather
You can
the stick.
Outfield people that were upset about outfielders dropping fly balls, you need to learn to jog to the ball. You cannot run to the spot. You have to learn to get to the spot as the ball gets there.
lighting
The
off the
meatball.
bat. Home run in Shea Stadium.
Yeah, you can see it. It's just kind of to the right of center field right there.
Yeah, we saw it on a couple of those.
Let's see here. In this segment, Ramon said something very specific to Lance. He said, do not hit left or right on the D-pad. Could that mean we get a new matchup screen for that? Could that mean that we get different, we could see vision and speed before? Maybe we get more statistics? That will probably show up in the graphics since it's an on-screen display.
Oh, call him off.
See the
So let's keep moving. 125. We're going to, again, didn't quite get there. Bad angle.
couldn't get there.
New ball.
And we're going to move up to about 125 in the video right now. Because at 125, they started.
The other pronouns do.
Want to see it?
Let's see. 125, we start to see some of the double plays. And I'm going to tell you right now, the double plays is when I started going insane on this stream. I literally couldn't hold myself back on this stream. I was going nuts. So they're setting up double plays right now with the widget. That's what he's going into right now. You see Carlos Gonzalez. I believe that's Gonzalez at the plate.
Ground balls.
Yep.
And then we need to
This made me not want to play the show 16 anymore. The next couple of minutes you're going to see here with this, I went bonkers with how beautiful these double plays are.
Man, you can really see the body scaling. And
Not that one.
Mr. Sale on this camera now. Skinny.
But you see some of the better animations. I like that. He goes to classic so he can throw the pitch. Yeah, Chris Sale, definitely. Look at Chris Sale. That new body. He has that, they call it elongated spine, but he's really skinny as well.
let's go. All right.
All right, so you see Panda there. Nice little spin. Step into the throw. Didn't get the back end of it.
Not gonna get the double, but that was sweet.
All right, you see this little second base play? The plant with the off-balance throw there. Very, very cool. Some of these animations are so smooth. All right, you see again, Pedroia over to Bogarts. Fights off the slide for the double play.
Pretty standard double
Perfect.
play there.
Pretty.
Very nice.
Perfect.
Pretty. We are playing with developers.
3,
on.
6.
Gonna be tough.
Oh, yes,
They'll
sir.
beat
That
him.
was
3-6-1 works, boys.
They'll beat
The 3-6-1 double play works. 3. Oh, you missed that one.
Gotta have good fielding at first.
Yep.
Again, have to have good fielding at first. Let's skip ahead here.
Hoping I get it.
Actually, we're going to let this go. There is another thing that was a big problem last year. You see, oh, Panda with a jump throw.
Pablo.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, yes, sir. We did turn that.
Ooh, you feel it? Do you feel those double plays? One more time. Oh, a little bad hop.
Ate him up.
Now, the next one here is, I think this is the one. We're going to see a ball to second base. Okay?
Taking myself.
Last year. That play doesn't happen last year. You flubbed somehow getting to second base last year.
They've done a lot of work to clean up the animations and make it a lot easier for you to take double plays yourself, which is what you just saw. We'll do it again. See if I can take it myself. You see Dustin got out the way.
No big deal.
So again, take it yourself double plays this year. You can hit the button and go to it. It will automatically go to the bag, and you can preload as you go to the bag. Not something you could do last year. It would actually change animations on you last year. That has been revamped this year. Little flip by Pedroia to Bogarts. I mean, double plays just look completely reworked this year. Obviously, they took time with some of the animations on it. See Bogarts.
You'll be leveling up.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, take it to the bag yourself. You see he tries to do this. There's one major one that he does. It's going to blow your mind. And I want to see if I can get that before we get out of here. 131. So let's move this ahead a couple minutes.
He's going to hit the ball in the exact same spot.
Oh, wait, first. So this is about outfield. You see this crow hop? You see this really nice crow hop because he rounded the ball. Okay? You get a nice, strong throw out of it. You get a crow hop, you get the animation. Now watch what happens when you try to do it without that. If you just set up under the ball, right?
Just camping under it, so look at the animation that plays.
Takes so much longer for the animation. The throw's a little offline due to the yellow, but the throw isn't as hard. You don't get that nice, smooth animation. But if you go back and do the same thing, Jackie Bradley Jr. gets up, gets into that blue spot, and see the crow hop. It just looks. Look at the strength of that throw. Doesn't quite get the tag, but it's so important to set up this year. Okay, you have to set up your outfielders. Learn how to do it. You heard Ramon say it earlier in the stream. Feather the stick. Learn to jog to the ball. Learn to jog behind the ball. All of that is very important this year.
Look at that. Watch that ball. Exactly. And then it just dies out there.
Dies in the corner.
So let's again, ball physics. They talk about the ball just dying in the corner. Again, it just ends down there. So 3, 6. Again, they show it 1. Sails over there. Another 3-6-1 double play. It looks like they figured out the bug that we saw in an earlier live stream. See Hanley over there trying to throw the ball away.
It's going to be an interesting case, too, because I think that's Hanley Ramirez there. Not a great fielder.
And he's already moving to the opposite.
All right, so Hanley trying to go backdoor. Now 79 speed, but again, you can take it to the base yourself this year, and it gives you an animation that goes to the base. That is what this game should be about. That being able to control your guys, but still have great animations. Perfect. So perfect. Yes, Malkin, Rookie of the Year 2007 says, yes, you can. 363 is in this year. Take it to the bag yourself, and Pedroia with the jump throw. 363 is in the game this year, Manny Run.
Who's at the shortstop did not come over. So you can still hit triangle. If you hit triangle, that'll take you to the base, and then you can preload to first to turn those double plays like that.
There we go.
It helps when you have 100 mile per hour hit speed coming at you. Turn those quickly.
So I'm gonna see if I can go.
Nice little play by Panda, but it ain't nothing compared to what you're about to see.
Not with Panda.
Oh yes.
He heard you.
Let's do that. See if I can do it twice in a row with Panda.
Panda. Watch this.
Oh, look at Panda.
Now some of you are worried, maybe, hey, Panda's not a bad fielder. I mean, he's not a terrible fielder. Maybe that's why. But that's phenomenal animation-wise. I really hope. Now, I hope not everybody can do that. But again, as an Oriole fan with Manny Machado at third, if you don't think that excites the hell out of me, you're insane. You Rockies fans with Nolan Arenado, you Blue Jays fans with Josh Donaldson, you Rangers fans with Adrian Beltre, do you feel your heart rush a little bit thinking about those third base plays? You think defense is not going to be key this year? Defense is back, boys. That's exactly what it is. They're showing some of these home runs right now, talking about, so this year, if you have, in the animations, the batting animations, you can actually set up your own animation with your own home run swing, if you have a no-doubter, plus there are now home run celebrations at first, second, third. You can set up different home run celebrations. So let's say you have, I think they made mention you could do like Carlos Gonzalez, use his home run swing with like Ken Griffey Jr.'s home run celebrations. I don't know how many they have in the game. They haven't announced that yet, but you can actually customize that. Whereas last year, you had to pick the player's swing that you wanted to change their celebration. So very cool. We saw a lot of that stuff. They hit a couple home runs, nothing great. They just want to beat Sale up. Speaking of home runs, they did mention very directly, home run over 9 will not affect gameplay again this year. Home run over 9 will not affect gameplay this year. So you Diamond Dynasty players and you franchise guys that play a whole 162 games, remember that when you're thinking about overall ratings, home run over 9 does not affect that. So, talking about the different stances and stuff. So last but not least, let's get over here. See if we can show the brands. They went over the new brands in the franchise mode. New brands for everything, but they went into franchise mode because that's how they had to show them. There we go. So they give them themselves all their sponsorships. We'll go through them right here. You see right here, we already knew about the normal Under Armour. New one here is Old Hickory. New is Oakley Prism. Actually, I think Prism got in late last year. Okay, you see again, Lizard Skin. Oh, I missed it. Hold on one second here. That doesn't make you an idiot, Quash. I mean, that's something they don't talk about.
Here they are, new brands. Look at them.
All right, so right there you see Lizard Skin, Trinity Bat Company, Adidas is new. New Balance over there on the right is new. We do the Old Hickory. Let's see if there's anything else in there. No, everything else looks like... So those are the new brands this year for all of the equipment and sponsorships that you can get. Remember, sponsorships for you franchise players will show up as little logos in your presentation. Plus, you get an extra boost in money, in your budget money. So again, you'll see a bunch of new equipment as well with these brands. They couldn't show us the new equipment yet, but I'm sure that'll come in either graphics or franchise mode.
Is that it? Are we done?
Yep, and we are done. That was pretty much it. Remember, next week, guys, Thursday again, 5 p.m., they're going to be doing the commentary and presentation stream. We will be on again immediately after to do the live breakdown at twitch.tv/Operation Sports, and we will have that breakdown up on YouTube the same night. So until next time, guys, Operation Sports, dedicated to sports gaming. We'll see you guys later.